Hey guys, this is Jim, WT1W, and you're watching FEPLabs Radio. Thanks for stopping by, appreciate it. So, carbon fiber masts. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Let's take a look at that today. We all know somebody who really doesn't like carbon fiber masts. I'm not going to mention his name, but I was curious. So I bought the POTA 33 carbon fiber mast from Gigaparts the other day. And we are going to test it back to back with two different tests, a little bit of whisper testing and using the Rig Expert and taking some comparison readings between my Kronos prototype. That is an upcoming antenna we're going to be selling on Coffee and Ham radios. So we're going to be using that for our antenna. We're going to test with the Kronos on a fiberglass mast and test with the Kronos on a carbon fiber mast and see what the difference is. And is there a difference? Does it matter? Stick around. All right, guys. So what we have set up right now is I have the Kronos prototype on a fiberglass mast. And this is how I typically have been running it since we've been testing it. It is not deployed in an awesome configuration. It's leaning in the magnolia tree. There are 4 radials out at the compass points basically. And the antenna is just hanging next to the mast and fastened up at the top. So what we're going to do is change it out with this. Now this is the Explorer POTA 33 carbon fiber mast. And what I'm trying to figure out here is if there's a significant difference in antenna performance between a fiberglass mast and a carbon fiber mast. Because we all know somebody who thinks carbon fiber masts don't work worth a crap because they're carbon fiber and therefore somewhat, conductive, not RF transparent kind of deal. So I've never used a carbon fiber mast, but we're going to give this one a shot. All right, so I've got this deployed now the same basic way I had the fiberglass mask and the Kronos antenna. And what we're going to see is I'm going to run whisper for 2 hours on 10 and 20 meters on the fiberglass mask, and I'm going to run whisper on 2 hours on 10 and 20 meters for the carbon fiber mast. We'll compare the differences. I'm also going to take SWR readings of both with the Rig Expert and take a look, and we can compare those charts across most of the ham bands. So here is the whisper test that I ran with the fiberglass Poseidon mast. And what I did was set this up to run automated on 10 meters and 20 meters for 2 hours. And this is the results I got. Now, again, I'm only using 2 bands. This was during the daytime. This was from about 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. Central Time during the day. So that is not bad results. That's the entire continental United States, basically South America. I got all the way down to New Zealand, ZL. So not bad. One out there in Hawaii. This is with the fiberglass mast. Here is our testing with the carbon fiber mast. The only difference I see here basically is that I didn't get anything in New Zealand. Of course, that could simply be band conditions or time. I still got the entire continental United States, South America, and one over into Southern Europe, it looks like, somewhere around Greece or Turkey. I'm not entirely sure on this tiny map. But that looks great. I don't see anything wrong with that, and I don't see that it diminished any of the functionality of the antenna by having it on a carbon fiber mast. Here's the SWR readings that I got on the different setups. So if you look at this graph here on the screen, you'll see this is from about 40 meters up to 10 meters. When I ran my whisper test, I only tested on 10 and 20. But what you see here is this orange line is our carbon fiber mast, and the red line is the fiberglass mast. I don't have any complaints here. The only thing that I see here that's odd is this hump in between 17 meters, or excuse me, 18 meters and 20 meters. Overall, the performance on the with the carbon fiber mast is better on this Kronos prototype than it is on the fiberglass mast. The carbon fiber mast is affecting the antenna, but it's certainly not affecting the antenna in a negative way. I mean, there is no point except here in this dead area where the SWR on the CF mast is worse. Maybe a little bit down here in this dead area down here at the bottom. But overall, this thing looks great. I don't see any problem with deploying certainly a Kronos or a Poseidon, same thing, with a carbon fiber mast versus a fiberglass mast. So there you have it. Make of that what you will, but to me, from what my testing shows, is that there is literally nothing bad about using a carbon fiber mast, certainly in this particular deployment situation. Other situations may be different. I don't know. I didn't test anything. This is using our Kronos prototype, which is an upgraded version of the Poseidon that we're currently selling on Coffee and Ham radios. It's under test. It seems to work fine. And as a matter of fact, if you look at the data, the whisper tests both reached just as far as the carbon fiber and the fiberglass, rather. So those tests were fine. The SWR, by looking at the SWR, you can see that it certainly wasn't negatively affected. It looked better. Now, is carbon fiber better or worse? You decide. In my opinion, in this deployment, there's no question it's as good as or better. APE has always said the carbon fiber mast affects the antenna. Indeed, it did. We have better SWR with the carbon fiber mast in this situation. The whisper tests looked identical. So everything affects everything is what we've always heard. It affected it, but it didn't affect it in a negative way. Guys, that's all I've got in this video. If you would, give me a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell in the little dingus below. That'll make sure you get notified whenever I post any new content. As always, y'all, thanks for watching 73.